So we're going to talk about Luna, Terra Luna, because it's mooned and a lot of people messaging me, should I buy it? Well, I'm going to explain what you should do and what maybe you shouldn't do. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, bell button, leave a like, all that good stuff. Now, I don't want to go through the old Telegram chat on Learning Crypto Premium. I'm going to put a screenshot up though of me taking a badly photoed photo because I can't be bothered print screening it. Ugh. One of my biggest regrets was not buying this back when I first saw it. Exploded like a rocket before I can really kind of get involved in it, which was annoying, and I liked the look of it a lot. But there was also a second opportunity to get in this, and again, because of my rules and stuff like that regarding how many coins I had, I would have been I would have been massively exposed in terms of what I had at the time, considering what, 2 months ago, that dip, it wasn't really valid. If I was able to offload, I probably would be in this, which is annoying. However, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about some simple do's and don'ts and what it is. Now, if you don't know what it is, it's brilliant, right? This is by far one of the reasons why I'm also bullish on the likes of reserve rights, which is relatively similar in certain elements. It's just got a different purpose, but it's got a similar sort of, mechanical kind of process around it with the proof of stake element and the ability to have the stable currency. Works in a different way though. But we're on the right lines in terms of using like an arbitrage kind of collateral model to enable a stable currency to remain fluid. This is powering all those currencies, which is why that token has value. The website's totally changed since I first talked about it and looked at it. And it's, as you can see here, it's now live on Ethereum and Solana. It's most likely going to be on the likes of, all the other interchainable blockchains, and all the stablecoins will run on them, likes of Polkadot as an example here. So there's a lot to talk about and a lot to take in, but risk reward, we need to talk about it. And by the way, guys, this is by far one of the freshest websites I've ever seen. I freaking love it. Anyways, risk reward, hello. So, how much do you think it's going to go? Now, this is a question you should be asking before you physically put your hand in your pocket and invest. You do your research and you have a little look at the competition. This is coinperspective.com, really flush website. Basically, 70x for Bitcoin. I find that very hard to believe it will get to that point, but you never know. But realistically, we're looking at the top 10 for me. It's not far away. As you can see, Polkadot and Solana, not too far away, grabbing distance realistically, not far at all. That just shows you how much this is growing. That's where the problem lies, FOMO. People are going to FOMO into this, I believe anyways, personally. Yes, it's top solid, it's brilliant, it's probably one of the best out there, which is why I'm holding likes of reserve rights, similar sort of ilk, but way behind in its scheduled behaviour of a mainnet. It hasn't had a mainnet yet, where this has. All kinds of little elements to this in terms of why you should be investing, why you shouldn't be. But there's also times where you could potentially get involved in this, which we're going to talk about. Now, first things first, on the charts, before you do any of that, obviously, research, right? So these two levels here that I've got on my chart, this was put on about a month ago, give or take, right? In that July period. And I did a video on this explaining why I'd be looking at buying at a certain point and all kinds of good stuff. But I also explained at the time, I've got too many coins, I don't really want to buy anything. When I did offload, I bought something else recently, which you all know is Cake, for the passive stuff, because it's pretty cool. But I was really looking to buy this, but I just, with me bonding certain things, with me in staking pools, with me looking at lockups and stuff, couldn't really move my money around quick enough, but I did focus on other elements too. This had an absolute cataclysmic drop off a cliff. And I did a video, as I mentioned, explaining that certain levels I would look at if this does drop down. And this was when it was roughly around 14, 16 cents. I was saying the likes of $8 and stuff like that would look good. And I even put the bottom line on it there about $5, said, I don't think this will ever happen. It actually went a lot lower than that. It actually went down to $3.82, which was a bit of a shock. Like, you've probably seen all my other when to invest type of videos, and they'll hit one or two levels, but they don't hit all of them. This hit everything. I wasn't going to be cheeky and think, well, it's going to go down to $1. That'd be a bit stupid. But realistically, when you look at all my other videos, like I think Theta got very, very close to the first level and it took off. Whereas the likes of Cardano hit the first level on the nose. I think the likes of Reserve Rights hit all the levels. You know, every single coin's hit a certain level based off historic kind of purpose. But this one absolutely went crazy. But now what we've got to do now, as a human being, we've got to look at where can this actually retrace. Because if you are looking at buying this right now, I would wait. Now, again, people will probably clip this and go, haha, you were wrong if it doesn't retrace. Every coin, every element of an investment will have to retrace. There's no point trying to buy as high as you can in the hope it keeps going higher. It's not the best thing to do, in my opinion. You know, you can't hope it goes higher when you buy it high. You are buying all-time high. Someone has bought at $33, $34, well, $33, sorry. At the end of the day, that could become a bargain. But right now, it's not looking good. If you were on spot right now and you bought at that top right now, physically, on this current live pricing, you'd be down 11, 12%, give or take. Not ideal, right? So let's look at it. Let's look at a full retracement of this level, because why not? I'm going to go from this point, by the way. Why not? Up at the top, and I think that 382, $22, between $20 and $22 is definitely a place where maybe it is the last chance saloon to get in. Maybe. Not financial advice, of course. That is for you and you only if you fancy it. If you have, and this is a fucking important point, boys and girls, if you have bought this at around $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 and you haven't taken a little bit off the table right now, you probably should. Because even if it's 5 or 10%, bag some profit, enjoy your life. I've had an incredibly expensive day today. I bought a new TV, bought a PlayStation 5, because I took some profits, and I'm also, fuck it, why not live life to its fullest, because I'm sick of, just life going wrong right now. So I thought, well, why not? Anyways, this level for me, I'm going to go from these wicks all the way across to the top here, while the body is to the wicks. I think that is going to be a demand level. Whether it holds it, whether people flap at it and there's a big old massive accumulation of stop losses, liquidations of the leverage trading, or if people just shit themselves, or if there's a protocol failure like last time, it might go lower. It might go lower. Another element to look at is obviously the 618. This is also a huge confluence. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go above it. Below it, sorry, I'm going to go above it, because when you start looking at these wicks and body closures, look at all those in and around that region. Now, why? Go to the daily time frame. This is the 3-day consolidation band in and around this region. Loads of wicks and stuff. It might even not get that far. So you've got to look at that point. So for me, that is important in my eyes anyways. My personal thoughts, my personal speculation is if it gets that low, it probably won't be there for much longer, because that is a consolidation range. But like anything, things will go down. But will it go as low as what you think? Well, that's the thing. There's nothing here. We don't know. Is a big order going to come in? Is a big, FOMO bid going to come in and absolutely ruin this and just take it, again to the sword, and off we go again? Because that's a huge momentum spike. So you've got to be very, very careful. Going on to the lower time frames, you can see how strong the trend is, but also you've got to think there's a massive gap towards that level. That $26 level is where the EMA is going to eventually wound up to. So it might go a bit higher. So just be careful of where things are. But for me, you should be taking profit right now. It is an obvious top. We're going to add a little indicator on here, if you've heard of it, the RSI. Let's see where we are with it. Default settings. We are fucking Jesus. We're off the scale nearly. On the daily time frame, we're at 90. Unbelievable. So it's certainly something to look at. But as you can see here, that's just one little metric to consider. For me, absolute FOMO. There could be one opportunity to get in. If the bulls are going to arrive on the scene on the USD pair, it could get very interesting. Now, a quick glance at BTC. Again, similar. You cannot deny How crazy. And by the way, this level is as obvious as a donkey's dick. Look at it. Is it going to go that low? I don't know. Is it worth a punt? Possibly. But at the same time, you've got to be incredibly careful. This financial game is only a game where you can play it once without losing your money. If you lose it, you've lost. You cannot lose it. This is why I always say that the bulls get wrecked more than bears, because if you buy tops and you're using spot with money you can't afford to lose, you cannot get it back. It's important to know that. So, Luna, what do you reckon? Do you like it or what? If you agree with my analysis, let me know. For me, I like it a lot. For me, in that term, I probably won't be investing unless it gets lower again. But for me, at the same time, there's other coins out there that I could buy, which is a better value proposition, which for me, this is not.